Is Tesla still the top dog when it comes to making electric vehicles? We'll find out in today's video by reviewing the new Model Y. This is Tesla's bread and butter. I'll include a link to the Larry Miller Toyota & Murray's website in the description down below. They've got this Model Y for sale, so if you're interested, check out their website. Also include a link to my car buying guide. Let's get into it. The Model Y long range produces 397 horsepower, 389 pound-feet of torque, and can go over 300 miles on a charge. It's going to vary depending on the wheels you have. So if you have the bigger wheels, it's closer to 300 miles. If you have the smaller 19-inch wheels, you're going to be like 320-ish miles. Now, because the Model Y is fully electric, we do have a front storage space, so that is going to add to the practicality. Before I move forward, I'm trying to hit 500,000 subscribers before the end of the year. I'd really appreciate it if you'd help out with that. I do like this silver paint on the Model Y. I think it works quite well with the new lines, and that new light bar on the front end is pretty crazy looking. Now you can see Tesla's adopted a split light design, which is a little bit different compared to what they had before. And then notice that there's not a lot happening in the front end. There's a little camera there at the bottom. Altogether, I think the front end design is not too complicated, and so it actually looks pretty sharp, looks a little bit more futuristic compared to the outgoing Model Y. Tire wheel setup on this one is 255 by 45 by 19, so this has the greater range because it's got the 19s and not the 20s, and the wheels are mostly closed off. The extra aerodynamic efficiency does help out with range. Now, this is equipped with the side camera, so you can become social media famous when someone damages your car. We've got the mirror caps that are painted to match, and then you still have the pop-out door handles. And the Model Y still has that kind of egg shape to it, which always looks funny to me. Now, you've got different variations of Tesla key. This one's got the card key, which is the most common that you'll see. This Model Y has a cargo cover built in from the factory, and just right next to the cover, you can see we've got these little buttons to fold down the seats for more space. And as you can see, not only can the seats fold down, but they can raise up via power. And if you're wondering, the folding down function does leave it to be pretty flat, not perfectly flat though. And the overall cargo space is pretty darn practical. Again, that's why they picked this size for the Model Y. Got the cool light bar effect here in the back, and I actually like the Tesla logo there. I think they integrated that nicely. So overall, the exterior has a nice little refresh that makes this car look a little bit newer. But let's check out the interior. Ambient lighting with this, and then you've got the kind of suede trim down below, soft touch all around, so similar to what you've seen in Teslas before. Got the nice soft touch trim on the seats. They are perforated down the center. Legroom in the back is good. I have a little storage pocket. And then you'll notice I've got my own screen here in the rear. And the screen lets you control different functions. Like the seats, for example, I can turn on the seat heater function. I can fold the seats down. I can also control my climate controls from the rear, play some games, watch some stuff. So lots of utility built into this little kind of tablet. And as you can see, we've got a shade up top for the glass roof, so that's gonna make it more insulated in here, let less light in. Let's now check out the front. Now you got the electronic popper to open up the door, and then the panel has all that nice trim. And I will say Tesla's fit and finish is a lot better than it used to be. Here's the front seat again, more of that nice trim perforated down the center, power adjustments and lumbar support on the side. The passenger seat's just power adjustable. The card key, you get in, foot on the brake, and then just put the key in this little area below the whole screen. Still have the minimalist steering wheel, so it's got nice trim around the wheel itself. And then depending on what you have selected in the center screen will determine what these multi-function controls do. And you do have shortcuts for stuff like the lights, and then you can see it for the windshield wipers too. And it still has a traditional turn signal stock, which is nice. Yeah, no gauge cluster, which, you know, it's not the best thing in the planet, but also you have a really clear view over the hood. Now we do have a nice 360 camera system, really good resolution with the camera system itself. Pretty much everything's controlled in the screen itself. So we've got the shortcut bar there at the bottom. The vehicle tab's kind of the most important because this has a lot of features, like to adjust the steering, the mirrors, for example, whether you're recording or not. And then, you know, just simple things like the glove box. That is built into the screen as well. I'll check if there's a window sticker with this one, by the way, to show that to you guys. But yeah, a lot of vehicle functions, well, pretty much all the vehicle functions are built into this. And that also means the drive modes. So we'll drive it in the, we'll start with chill, and then we'll go to standard and see how things are like from mode to mode. But I will say the screen responds very quickly. Like when I go from tab to tab, it's really user-friendly. And the front seats, because they're perforated and all that, they do have the cooled function, which is a great little luxury feature. But yeah, the UI is great. The whole system's easy to use. Everything is pretty nicely labeled. It will take you a second to figure out exactly where everything is, but once you get it figured out, it's pretty intuitive. Below that, you basically have a bunch of storage here, and it's very interesting how they've set this up. You got the cup holders, and then you just press, boop, press, boop. Center console here. There's nice trim, and I will say the fit and finish is so much better than it used to be. And then just regular rear view mirror, they should have a camera rear view mirror because the rearward visibility is horrible. And then you've got the curved sun visors, which is kind of cool. I didn't see the window sticker anywhere, the original MSRP, but this one's going for a little bit under 50 if I remember properly. I mean, it has like no miles on it. But anyways, let's see how it performs. Gear selector being on the touchscreen like the Model S Plaid, it's something to get used to. It's definitely something to get used to. But it also, like, having everything built in the screen always freaks me out because I'm like, man, if the screen breaks, you're screwed. You can't even drive away with your car. Like, at least with the, you know, other cars, if the screen breaks, it's like, okay, you lose some major functions, this and that, but at least you can still drive with the car. That is super useful. I like that. I actually like that more than having like a camera, if that makes sense, because just being able to kind of fuzzily see what's going on there, that seems to be more helpful overall, I would say. That's always a weird turn to have to make. Now, if I remember right, I think it saves for the mode, so we should still be in the chill. Yep, we're in chill, so this is not even close to full power. Man, you can really hear everything. Like, the insulation's actually pretty good for up here, but just down below, it's like going over that manhole cover, for example, is very apparent. So that's a little bit different. Let's do a standard deceleration. Yeah, that's a nice amount. I feel like Teslas are one of the cars that you gotta just kind of sit in it for a minute before you actually drive, because it takes a second to get used to of the controls and everything. Now, I do believe this one also comes with the, yeah, full self-driving. Hurry for the full self-driving. Interesting. I've tested it out before. It's actually a really good, like, Tesla's full self-driving is a really good system. It's like literally it does drive itself. Now, it can be a little bit glitchy. Like, there's a few times where testing it out, I saw that like it couldn't, like, basically it'll get you like 99% of the way there most of the time, but you'll have to like park yourself pretty much. And Tesla does have a self-park feature, but when I say park yourself, it won't bring you up to the parking space. Like, you'll have to go and bring it up to the parking space and then park in. The system keeps getting better and better as time goes on. But I mean, it already does like 90% of what you need it to do. So it's a pretty good system. We're gonna put it into standard. Suspension's pretty good on this thing. Oh, yeah, it's quick. Again, this isn't the performance version, right? The long range, though, I think is the one that everyone wants because, well, range is more important than performance with electric cars. And this has like 400 horsepower pretty much. It's got enough. It's got more than enough power. Yeah, that's cool. They even got the barrier. Yeah, this system's pretty darn good. This system is pretty darn good. So just like the new Model 3, the Model Y is greatly improved. The biggest thing that's the most impressive is the build quality is a lot better. And the materials aren't necessarily, I mean, they don't really feel more premium. But yeah, the build quality just feels a lot better. This doesn't feel so cheap and chintzy. And I do think that this segment makes the most sense for Tesla, because Tesla puts the same design in like the Model S and the Model X and the Cybertruck. Those cars are too expensive for this to like work. Like, this feels like nice and premium at this price point, but you have this interior in like a $100,000 car and it's like, yeah, that's crap. But it, you know, $50,000, $60,000 range, not bad. Not bad at all. And this drives really well. I mean, I've reviewed a lot of electric cars over the years. I'm still not sold on the whole idea of electric cars. I think that they're a good, you know, I think they have good utility. Like a lot of people that I know that have electric cars, they use it as their commuter, but then they still have an ICE car on the side. And I think that'll continue to be the thing. You know, some people will have it as their only car that, you know, basically like live in the city all the time. But for the most part, I think it'll be a good secondary car for a lot of people. And yeah, it does a really good job. Again, it's got the full self-driving that's gets you, like I said, 90% of the way there. And the acceleration's good and the range is good for an electric car. I do wish Tesla would push the range envelope though a little bit more. Like we need to have the Model Y long range needs to have like over 400 miles now. I think that would be a thing they could do. But either way, the car's a lot better. Like the previous gen Model Y felt like a good electric powertrain. This actually feels like a good electric car. Let me know your thoughts.